banks of Loch Fuchie. I'll figure it out by tomorrow though. We'll try again. Anyway, we did explore some ruins, saw an awesome cemetery. That was just on the way out here. We are now somewhere in the middle of Scotland doing Iron Age camping. That's what this Stonegaard video is going to be all about. Here's our tent, yay! Yeah, it looks so Iron Age. But that's what you get for $49.95. So, we got a lot of plans in the future for this week. A lot of fun things we're going to do. We're going to make some knives. I'll probably just record making one of those because they're all basically going to be the same after that. But we're going to make some knives here in an old forge, kind of Iron Age style, the way the old Picts used to. The Pictish people, the painted people as the Romans called them. That was, you know, a couple thousand years ago. So it's an exciting time. But yeah, there's camping all the way down through here. Got a lot of good folks down here. We'll meet some of them in a little while. This is very deep into the woods of Scotland. This is a little loch. It's not even a really huge one. Look at this bridge. Let's try it out and see if it holds us. Over here, there's some reeds already soaking down in the water. We're going to make coracle boats out of those. So that's going to be exciting. I'll show you what those look like. As we come up here, there's the cooking tent where everybody's going to gather together. We're already gathering together. We're going to eat, have a good time, tell ghost stories, all kinds of fun things. But this is my life for the next week. That's a regular canoe, not a coracle, but it's fun anyway. Yeah.
Let's see how get my Mossix design. Wide range leg. I've already fixed the toys. Oh, bloody hell. Smoky boy.
Yeah, it's all the lovely fresh is the clay tuyas, the pipes where the air feeds in. So everything here, except for, say, the anvils and the tools, is usually complete conjecture. You have no idea what they look like. So what I do is I look at other cultures alive today who are forging in, I hate to use the word primitive. It's not primitive. It's just not the way maybe other people do it. It's still highly efficient, highly effective. It's just in our minds, it's not utilizing certain methods. But what I find amazing is when you look at these other cultures, they are making the items and they're using the tools, the exact tools that we find in our archaeology. So the hammers and the equipment we find Iron Age Britons were using 2,000 years ago, we find still being used in, say, Kenya with the Maasai and the Samburu blacksmiths, or in Sudan with the blacksmiths in the Omo Valley. They are using those exact same tools and they're making the same things. They are making spears and swords and chisels and axe heads and things. And they are just so similar in their own ways. But what I call these two here, these two are what I would describe as pit forges. Whereas the one with the soapstone fittings over there is a ground forge. So it's ground level, whereas these dip into the floor, which Finn and I had great fun digging these. First point here is we're actually going to be making the end, the thumb tab of our folding knife. We will end up with a blade and we'll end up with a little tab. So when it folds out of your handle, you can put your thumb on the top and it keeps it open. So the very first step we're going to do is we're going to heat up the end of this metal and forge him off the edge of our anvil and really squash him. So we're going to come into our fire. We're not going to go down if you can avoid it. We're going to go level with the floor and we're going to place into the fire. You will see where it's hottest. Look at the heat. Don't just stick it in here and think it's going to be in the right space. Look at where the fire's hottest and put your metal in that heat. Okay? The beauty with forges you can take the metal in and out of the fire as much as you want. So if you leave it in the fire, thinking, is it hot yet? You can ask me, is it hot yet? And I'll say, it might be. Okay, so lovely heat. Lovely heat. We're going to come out. You've heard the phrase, strike while the iron's hot. We're going to work quite nice and quickly, he says as it cools down. Yeah. Good grip in your tongs. Come to the anvil, lie flat. Doesn't matter which side you're working on yet. We're looking for about 1 centimetre to 2. Roll him up. And your hammer is going to do a good hit. Can you see we've made a little bite into the metal? Okay. That now is your gauge. I can feel when I put him to the anvil. So I'm going to get him hot again. And I'm going to repeat that. And I'm going to go and hit him repeatedly. I can see he's not in the fire quite correctly, so I'm just adjusting him. I can see it's nice and hot over here. My metal was over here, so moving him closer to that lovely source of heat. Now I'm going to go a bit quicker. Out I come. I feel for the bite. A few hits, turn him to the side. A few hits, turn him to the side. And now we can just you see how I'm not belting it. I'm working quite lightly. Just bringing him nice and flat. And I'm just working each side. I'm turning him 90 degrees. Couple hits, turn. Couple hits, turn. Couple hits, turn. Can you see him starting to with mild steel? It's a nice, easy steel to work with. It's comparable to iron from the Iron Age. I'm going to show you Iron Age techniques for hardening and sharpening this knife. So, by modern knife making standards, it's not what we usually make our knives from. However, I will say that this knife here is a wrought iron blade. By modern knife making standards, that's rubbish. But I can tell you for the last 8 years I've used this for everything from butchering iron. Lovely. See, it's glowing red. Ideally we want that to glow orange if we can. We are forging outside, so it will always hide the true colour of the metal. Okay, just a couple of hits, couple of hits, couple of hits, and we're just flicking our wrist. That's all we're doing. None of this big. Wonderful. If you see bits of charcoal running free, giving a little prod in. You can put your metal in. That side in. Oh, you got. Maybe you're not going in specs. Oh gosh. How's it gone? Safety specs.
Oh, now I'm like.
What we'll do, get some coal, because a lot of blacksmithing, Craig will be able to tell you, knives look like crap for like 80% of the time you're working on them.
Oh, yeah.
Trust in your abilities, trust in the process.
I want to break his back.
Yeah, get him nice and flat. That's looking really good, Barry. We've got that shape there. Get him back in the fire though. When you see that red heat, it's going to want to fold over. I'm going to do work on the very end. Squish him down. That's it. So a couple of hits there, and then turn them 90 degrees. A couple of hits on the flat. Yep.
Brilliant. It's really nice. You've got to remember where it is.
And then a couple of hits in the flat. And it's just that process until we get that point in. You see it's already starting to kind of make a little...
Yes! You want a belly bomb? I love the fact that this is all charred at the front. Yeah, go on then.
Yeah, those feeling a bit better now.
Bellowing Bob.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need that spring at the bottom.
I'm going to get on that still. Sorry,
Probably one of our older pairs.
letting the rhythm down, but... How's it doing? Is it going? Well, by the time I actually get it held in the top, it's in the right place. It's fucking cold, isn't it?
That's it, and really get
Like 7 different attempts to get it held. And then, it's cold.
With these first few heats as well, take it.
Yeah, which I'm struggling.
right in there. That's it.
And it's just little...
Oh, yeah, of course.
It's only your eyes.
It is good.
It's not like you need them for driving or anything.
Well, driving and
Reading.
broken bones.
See the frustration painted on everyone's face.
Yeah.
First you
First several heats, you know, you start with and then all of a sudden it starts dropping.
let yourself be frustrated. You aren't allowed to do
Joe, on your next heat, just shout at these colours here.
I blamed it on the anvil. That was the reason, yeah.
It's the anvil's fault.
Yeah.
We did a knife making course and someone melted theirs, and at the end, everyone was looking at it going, yours was really nice. Yeah, no, I don't know, something just clicked as I did it.
That's something fast, Nick. Nick, Craig, oh my god, people's names. Too many new people. Yeah, which name do you want today? Put him up against that. We'll just work that exact same spot.
We've got our curve, and as far as we can curve it with that, because it gets so far and then the anvil starts getting in the way. Now we're going to turn it towards ourselves, so the curve is sitting upwards, okay, hooking up to the sky. And we're going to start hitting towards ourselves. And just like how we hit down and move, we're going to hit towards and move. Towards, lift, towards, lift, towards, lift. Okay. So I'll bring the metal out onto the anvil, a nice good grip. And I'm going to go towards, lift, towards, lift, towards, lift. Back to the start. Is that making sense? Towards, lift, towards, lift, towards, lift, towards, lift, towards. And we're slowly curling the metal round, okay? So don't worry too much about getting too close into there.
It's gentle.
Hold your hammer.
Just take those for a second. Very good.
You only do it once, yeah. You can always ask me.
How do you think I start?
No, you do it once.
Just get it in right.
Real nice. Try and almost think of kind of brushing down with the hammer like that. Yes, there it is.
Well then.
Perfect. And yeah, and then raise.
You got it, yeah.
Raise.
Yeah.
Higher. To the sky.
Nice.
Perfect.
There you go. Nice.
I'll put yours in here.
And let's get another heat on that.
Wonderful.
So this is something of a Bronze Age style forge over here. You got push bellows. You know, I mean, they just kind of, you lift them up, you blow them out, a little bit of stuff come out. I don't want to get the fire up yet because we're not ready to start up again. I just like to blow a little bit. Look at that, working on some knives. Got hammers, and now they do have several of these little anvils around here. They drive them into the stumps there, and you kind of just sit at it and hammer. That's kind of how it was back in the day, I guess. This one here is kind of free floating. It's a block of steel. And little buckets of charcoal. You keep feeding into the forges there, using your bellows. This is mine right here. Let's see if it's cooled down. Yeah, it is. I didn't film myself making this. Now we haven't done the blades yet. I guess we're all going in steps. Everybody's following the steps as instructed. That's kind of neat. Now you're like, what in the heck is that kind of knife? Well, it's a little folder. And it's going to have a pivot right here. We're going to put those pins in. First we got to punch a hole. We've got a little hot punch tool here we can use, heat it up, pop that hole out. And then this is here where's your thumb. Goes right there like that and holds it down, and it's going to be a friction knife. And or friction folder they call it. And it's going to just kind of whoosh, like that. So we'll take a look at that. We got some antler for the handle that we're going to use for them. So that's pretty cool. I got a lot of shots of Barry, so you've probably seen her by now. Working on hers. Same basic thing. And forging along this Loch Fuki, I think is what they say. Look at that. This is in the Highlands.
Excellent. So, turn them around. So, we're holding it like that. Yep. And we want to come in at a slight angle on that point there, that top corner. Yeah, just like that. And what we're aiming to do is kind of create a nice little rounded shape. Then top one is flat. And just give them a little flat now. Perfect. And it's the same as when we make it. I think maybe
Here,
you'll be able to see what colour your metal
a
is.
little folding knife. I'm going to put a pin right through there, like I said a minute ago.
The difference in the sunlight though, look at that.
Yeah, I know.
Finished it out because here's my photographer. She crashed and burned.
That's looking great, Luke.
Now she's looking up at the sky. Look at that.
Yours is looking quite lovely as well, I like it.
It's pretty, right? Anyway, I finished out my blade, except for the pinhole, and then we're going to do the handle scales next and see how that goes. Then we'll have a little
that
kind of ancient sort of
Julia's goblin
friction folding knife. You're going to hold it, the handle's right here, and then you kind of hold it in place with your thumbs. You do your cutting, and that braces against the back. I'll show you.
You won't be able to.
Great. Best if you put it against a log. Give yourself or the bench or something like that.
Alright, here is the finished friction holder forged in Scotland. We're no longer in Scotland, and one of the drawbacks of trying to film videos in the Highlands while you're camping is running out of battery, which is what happened. And anyway, I went ahead and finished this thing. Look at that, just kind of pops up like that, fits into this little notch on the spine. Has a spacer in there, a little pin in there to stop the blade coming through. And there's the tail pin. And there's the pivot pin right there. And that completes our first video on forging knives in Scotland. This was the project they had assigned to everybody there camping, and everybody made something similar to this. They're all different, of course. Jimmy, they're making noise down there. But it was a lot of fun, so I'm going to bring my own element to this knife making process and put a few of these out for sale. Of course, a little bit longer blade. That's a nice little 2-inch blade, but that's kind of all they let you do over in Scotland and England because people are scared of knives for some reason. Well, look at that. It's a fun little deal. It goes right in your pocket. You can make a little case for it probably. But we are going to wrap this video up here as part 1 of our Scotland knife forging project. And then we will be back soon with another video of making belt knives.